my mobile device. I'm starting to get the notifications on my phone that it actually landed. But if you are new, I started making soap in 2015, and during the pandemic, I did a bit of a pivot to help people produce virtual conferences. I am now at the point where I am able to go back to making the soap, and we now have a complete production studio for both the soap making, the skincare, the herbal medicine, as well as producing the virtual conferences. So I've been kind of hinting with various pictures here and there. There's like a few small things that we still need to do. Hi, Teal. Good to see you. There's a few small things that we need to do before I can completely go in there. The last thing is getting the multi-camera angles set up. So that way you'll be able to see when I'm making something overhead, and then you'll also be able to have a 360 view within the stream. But I wanted to get all of I guess the supplies and everything moved in before we actually did the making and getting all of the equipment in there. So I am going to flip the screen so you can see. Let's see, go that way. There you go. All right. So I don't know if you saw. So this is the soap studio area that we now have. Before we had a bunch of mud down here on the ground, but we have since put gravel down. And I'm going to just open this one. Hopefully I unlocked it. Yeah, I did. Ugh. All right, so this is what we have now. Hopefully the signal is okay. As you can see, Paige's four-wheeler is here, and we have plenty of boxes. But along this side, if you remember the dining room that we were in before, everything that you are looking at here was in that dining room with the exception of this island. And stick around because I do need your opinion for how we will finish the top of this island. This is a double island here. So I'll be able to make the products here. And then when I'm having classes within here, my students will be able to have their projects here. But let me just give you a tour of what we have. So the studio really starts from this side over here. This is where the essential oils and colorants are stored. So everything that we use for scenting the soap, coloring the soap, this is, and it smells so good when you open the cabinet. So this is where that stuff is. And then up here is an herbal cabinet. It has various herbs. It also has like some fancy mood lighting up there. Let me see if I can turn them on so you'll be able to see them. It's just little punch lights that you like tap on. There is a remote for them, but it helps to set the ambiance for the whatever. But there's different herbs that I use. There's Chinese herbs in here, and then just standard Western herbs. I know we have some skullcap, nettle leaf, yarrow, rose hip, peppermint, rosemary, ginger root, of course, chamomile for the skincare enthusiast. But that's what's in the top of this cabinet. I have to get a couple more jars for the remainder of them. Hey, Tammy, Guyana here. Hi, Ann. Good to see you. And then down here we have some of the Soap School merchandise. So there's the Soaper's Notebook as well as the water bottle, which are available on Live Soap School. And then down here is where all of the lye solution is. Not sure if you can see that. And then on this side, I am selling the herbs. I'm making herbal blends and herbal teas, but I'll take you upstairs so you can see. And then over here is some of the clays and the salts that we use for making bath bombs and shower steamers and all of that. And then this was the last thing that we were waiting to get done yesterday. And Josh put this up for me. This is the cabinet. Up top will be where the liquid soap is stored. I'll be making 4 different varieties of liquid soap. One of them is a charcoal liquid soap, another one is a tea tree, and the other 2 will be clay liquid soap, and then of course an unscented one as well. But this will be the main place that you all are looking when we are live streaming to get an angle similar to this. There's a pegboard over here. When I had posted this on Facebook, a lot of people messaged me saying, whose books are those? All 4 of those are books that I published. These are kind of like the soap maker manual if you are interested in starting to make your own soap. It's the curriculum that we follow for live soap school. So all 4 of those books are books I have written. One of them has to do with mindset for being a soap maker. The other one is cold process soap. The other one is vegan soap. So if you want to make all plant-based soap, that is the vegan soap cookbook there. And then how to make it and sell it. A lot of people stop short. They tell you how to make it, but you have no idea. You make all this soap, then what in the world are you going to do with it? I teach you that in that book. This also has my scale, spatulas, thermometer, gloves, alcohol, the infamous stir here. This will allow me to swirl the tops of the soap. Then the strainers are primarily for making the tinctures and the decoctions, and then just straining out the herbs. Additionally, this cabinet over here has more of the herbs that we'll be using. It also has some cocoa powder, lemongrass, lemon balm. What else? Burdock root is over here, lavender, ashwagandha. So all of the good adaptogen herbs are over here as well. Then we have some lime powder and lemon powder. And then there's some different clays. I have some more clays coming, which is what these little jars are here for. You can use clays in your skincare for a variety of reasons, including if you're making a clay face mask. I know a lot of you have heard of bentonite clay, kaolin clay, activated charcoal. So you can make your own face mask. And so we use those in order to make them. And then for when I'm making my tinctures and decoctions, I have different milliliter jars that will help me to make sure that I'm getting the right measurements. Over here is where we have all of the mixing bowls, and we also have the molds, the cutters. All of these things were in my dining room, guys. I had all of this stuff in my dining room. So now everything has its place to be organized in a way that works. I don't know if you can see this electric outlet here. We're going to affix that to the island so that I'll always have power when I'm live streaming and not have cords all over the place. This is my favorite wall in the space. This has all of the equipment that we use. You can see we still have some organizing to do. Stuff is still in bags and in crates. However, all of the stick blenders, spatulas, pitchers, funnels, Uma is over there. That's our heavy duty stand mixer. We also have the roaster ovens. We use the roaster ovens to make really large batches of hot process soap as well as liquid soap. And then we have the smaller baby one right next to it with the stand mixer. Someone asked me about the herbs. So I do a couple of things with the herbs. One of them is distilling them to get a hydrosol, and I typically will use the hydrosol to make a lotion. That way you get the plant essence and not just regular distilled water. And that still is what we use in order to do that. We also have a wax melter that we made. That's there. We have a bath bomb press and a lotion press. Several of my oils and ingredients are over here. If you are a soap maker, one of the good manufacturing practices is to make sure that any ingredients that you are using are at least 6 inches off the ground. You never want your ingredients sitting on the ground. So as you can see, we have those here. This is the corner. Paige is saying hi. Paige just came out. This is the corner that will be Paige's corner once we get everything moved out of the space. This was a table. I didn't go upstairs yet. We're still on the first floor. This is the table here.
That mommy has built.
Yes, mommy helped to build the saw, the hammer, and all of that. And so this here will allow me to pre-measure all of my oils so that I'm not having to measure them at every broadcast. So I'll put my recipe in here and then I'll be able to measure it out and it'll keep it at a nice temperature. This one here is my lye tank. That will allow me to have all of the lye pre-measured, and the idea is I get to save time. This over here will be the shelf where we store the lotions, the body butters, as well as the sugar scrubs. That's all on this cabinet here. And then over here, many of you remember from when we used to live stream, we had those shelves behind me. So we brought those shelves back over, and this is where we are going to store the soap that needs to cure. We are waiting for the baker's racks, which will go in this corner over here so that I can constantly shift the stuff as it's going. So once all of the product is finished and ready to be shipped out, it'll end up in this corner over here,
My corner.
which will be the shipping station. Look at this. Get this cat out of here. She done got in here. That's Queen Elizabeth, guys. All right. So we'll go upstairs. So that is the soap studio area. All right. So now I'll take you guys upstairs because this is where my office is. Paige wants to show you the office. So up here is the filing cabinet. That's my plan for 50 streams in 50 days. This is the relaxation area. So I have a... I'll show them the snack area, Paige. So this is where I have a beanbag chair. I have fallen asleep in that beanbag chair. No name A over there. We don't say her name because then she'll cut on and listen. That is where I play my music. I do have hammocks that are hanging. One thing, make sure that you have everything in place before you start hanging things from the ceiling, because that hammock is fine, but this hammock is interrupting my production area. So we're going to move. Thank you. I can't see your name. It just says anonymous Facebook user, but I really appreciate it. I will, Paige. I have to go around in a circle. So right here, we're going to move this one and bring it over here so that it's hanging. Over here, every office needs a refrigerator. Paige is very excited because she put my Pepsis in there and some water and
Dog Crunch. And if you don't know what they are, they're very delicious.
They're very delicious. So I will have my coffee maker.
Mommy's 2 mugs.
Yes, and they both fit appropriately. One of them says you're on mute. I don't know how many of you have been on Zoom calls this past year, but I say that in every call.
And then mommy, Dorito chips are right here.
Yeah, Dorito chips. And then Soap Nation, of course, that mug is there.
If you guys were here, then you will understand how comfy this beanbag right here is.
Oh, she wants to demonstrate how comfy that beanbag chair is. So we also have to put our coffee maker there as well as our brew pot for making the tea. And I'll be doing a lot of herbal teas on the broadcast coming up. This is the bookshelf. I have some masks up here from when I went to New Orleans. They will be mounted on the wall back here, but I love these. I absolutely love these. There's one in blue, and then there's another one in a pink and purple. And then that's the larger one there. But this is my bookshelf. I have 2 bookshelves. I do a lot of reading, guys. Of course, this is also a reinforcement for me to remind me to keep going. So there's some stuff on building a successful consulting practice, conferences, information brokerage, and then some artist stuff. One book that I highly recommend that
her book.
My book, of course.
Oh, and the new one that just came out was this one.
Yes, that's
you should really buy this one because it's really good. You can learn a lot of stuff about mommy because mommy's awesome and she knows how to make soap, which makes mommy amazing.
Thanks, Paige. But what I was going to recommend, aside from my books, of course, is Blue Ocean Strategy. A lot of people feel like the market that they're in is very, very crowded. And Blue Ocean Strategy really helps you to start thinking a little bit differently about how you build your business. And there's no such thing as too much competition, no matter what it is. So if you are somebody that's struggling in business and you're trying to figure out how do you carve out your little corner, absolutely positively take a look at Blue Ocean Strategy. You live in New Orleans. Yes. Miss Francis says she's so proud of you too. I do also do some virtual.
Thank you, Miss Norris.
I said Miss Francis, not New Orleans.
Thank you, Miss.
I do some VR streaming. I can't do it when I'm doing Beat Saber because there's some copyright issues. But the reason why this wall is so bare is when it's time for me to do the VR broadcast, I can then have a green screen that takes up that entire wall, and then it comes across pretty good. Here is another bookshelf that I have. The top shelf has to do with all herbal medicine or um, making herbal teas. And then the bottom shelf are all books on soap making. I do keep my books front and center. But if anybody wants to know about books I would recommend for soap making, natural skincare, just let me know and I'll do a video on those. This corner over here is where I do the production of virtual conferences. So I do have my planner supplies here, but they're probably going to go on the other side where the other writing desk is. But this, as you can see, has lots and lots of webcams because sometimes we are producing 3 simultaneous streams at one time. So this has my iMac, my MacBook Pro. That's a second monitor over there, so I can typically monitor a chat as it's going on. And then it's just like your typical office stuff there. Then there is the printer. I have used this printer has served me well in terms of printing invoices, user manuals, user guides, PDF, anything that I need to print. It works really well. It's a printer, a fax, a scanner, a copy machine, and it works wirelessly. When I print my labels for shipping packages out, I do use the Zebra printer, and I have this privacy shade to make the distinction from when I'm in production mode for a conference, people are only seeing this stuff here. And then to stay in shape, I do have my exercise bike up here as well as my yoga mats and my weights. I think I have a jump rope, but I never use that one. And then I also have a yoga block. I know, but I don't use it. And then this was the desk that was in the dining room. I typically am only going to be using this for writing and producing podcast. I have to see how the sound is going to work up here. So this is the space that we have. I will kind of give you this kind of view. There's Paige, and then there's that side. We have picked up some curtains, and this is where I need all of your assistance for what we will be doing. Oh, and that has more ingredients underneath as well. All of these tables have wheels under them, so this space is completely modular. At any point, I can shift what is where when we are shooting. But generally, when we are shooting, this is the angle that you all will be on. You'll be able to see straight ahead, and then you'll also be able to see right down into the bowl. And then you'll also be able to see from this angle here. You'll be able to choose which angle you want to see. So I'm glad some of you stuck around. We have some decisions to make because as you can see, this island is wood, which is no good for Lye right here. So my question is, what do you think about these options I should probably thank you guys for the congratulations. I have to switch. Like I said, the cameras aren't set up yet, so we're kind of in a weird spot. I was trying to put you on this tripod, but it's not going to work. Here, this is what I'll do. I'll flip the camera again. Bam! Hold on. Let me go get all the options. All right. So we have three options for the top of this island. Remember, we want to try and protect the surface as much as we possibly can. So the first thing is this metal. It's kind of like a stainless steel look. It's a contact paper, but what I need to do is I'm going to make a heavy lye solution and drop it on here to see how it reacts if lye spills on there. So option one is this stainless steel that we would cover the surface with. Option two is this tile. I think the tile is very nice, but the tile is going to get very expensive. And we are at our budget. I stayed within a budget for this. We are absolutely positively within the budget. So option one is the stainless steel. Option two is this tile that we would tile the entire thing with. And then option three, you know we got our options on here, is just your typical liner paper. This here that you would typically put in a shelf. And then covering that with this heavy duty contact that is wipeable. So, what do you guys think? Option one, option two, option three. Option one is this stainless steel wannabe contact paper. Option two is the tile. And then option three would be the shelf liner with the surface protector on top. The benefit of the shelf liner is as the seasons changes or the broadcast change, I can change what the liner is to change the color or the ambiance. If I go with the tile, what we have is what we have, and that's what it's going to be. And that's going to take a lot more time too. Option two, you have gone first class all the way. Let's do tile. Somebody said option one. So put your votes in no matter which stream you are on. But this has been such an incredible experience. I was sharing on Instagram. Somebody said it's perfect. Soap making is in my heart, so it's difficult to find the ingredients. And what country are you in? You said Guyana? Uh, yeah, that's the one thing. And even here in the United States, because of COVID, it's becoming more and more difficult to source ingredients at a reasonable price. Um, Citric acid, which is one of the main ingredients that we need for bath bombs, that price doubled overnight. And luckily, I was on a Facebook group and someone said they found a particular supplier who had it still at the same price. I ordered it and that night it had doubled in price. So I had got lucky. I got 50 pounds of citric acid, but I'm hoping that with things starting to get back to normal, those prices will shift. Or can you get a small piece of granite cut from Lowe's that will slip right on? I like that idea. I can go and find out, but I'm going to have to get the exact measurements because this, I don't know if you guys can see the way this the way my internet is set up. No, I'm just kidding. The way this is there's two tiers to it. So back here there's a little bit of space. So I guess if I just measure all the way around and see if they can go and cut it, because there's the top part here, and I have tested because I got a little nervous. Let me see. I got a little bit nervous when they installed, because this was handmade by a local woodsman, wood crafter, I should say. They will cut it for free. Paper is the best option. It's good for the environment. Love it. I tested to make sure that all of the tools that I would use, like my molds, would fit on here. I'm also probably going to pull a table right here because sometimes when we're pouring those 30-pound molds, they won't fit on here. They're way too big. But I have another side for this island where I can put a table. So we should be able to broadcast. The first soap that I am making is for Lane. Lane was somebody that I met on Periscope years ago. She's been like the #1 supporter of Natural Soap by Zakia. She is battling MS and is going in for a procedure in November, and she has requested orange everything. So she is getting orange bar soap, liquid soap, whip soap, sugar scrubs, bath bombs. She's getting a whole plethora of them. And we will be doing a fundraiser where if you order those, 100% of the proceeds for that will be going to the MS Foundation. I wish to come and learn soap making from you. Aw, yeah. So tune in for that. I'm going to try and get started maybe even today because it is Super Soap Sunday, of course. But this has been amazing to have the idea up here and then to actually see it come to fruition is unreal. I've seen a lot come to fruition as I have been building out my businesses, but the one thing was the building. I will be taking some classes. Yes, so some people are saying I want to come and learn the beauty of the internet, and that was the premise of Live Soap School. It does not matter where you are, if you can see me, you can join me in a live class. And because I produce virtual conferences, I now have a way of doing them even a little better than what they used to be on Live Soap School with live coaching. You get to interact with other students on a monthly basis. So that will be kicking off in November. It's because you're incredible. So hopefully this update hasn't gone too long. It looks like we've been live for 27 minutes. I'm so thrilled to see God bless you in so many ways. God bless you and your family so much. Yes, let's talk about the blessings of the Lord, shall we? Um, I was in such depression when COVID hit. Everything was going to stop. And God completely saw me through that. Completely saw me through that. Like, listen, I've brought you this far. I'm not going to leave you here. Um, you know how they say, watch your circle. My circle became a needle point, meaning one person. And that one person ended up just falling in love with God all over again. Um, and what did they say? Pressed down, shaken over, and all of that? Absolutely true. Yes, so excited for you, my love. All right, so I'm going to let you go. This is the update for the production studio. We can't just call it a soap studio anymore because there's so much more than soap, which has been our moniker since day one, and it's so appropriate now. Um, and I hope to see you all on a live stream. If you are not following, this is streaming out on every platform that I will be broadcasting on. So make sure you subscribe if it's YouTube, follow if it's Facebook, follow if it's Twitter, subscribe on Haps. I don't know how I can integrate Instagram on here. I needed to hear this. My depression has been real. I'm believing in miracles because of your story. Listen, depression can only hold on to you as long as you allow it. And I don't mean to minimize that. Depression, and I shared this with someone as well. Um, Depression isn't something that you get over. You learn how to manage through it. There are some days where, and I told someone else, I used to get off of my live stream. I would be the happiest person on the live stream. And as soon as that live stream was over, I would ball up in a corner and be crying and sad and like, oh God, there's like this cloud that's over you. You have to constantly pray about it, constantly just make sure that you get up out of the bed. If that's the one thing that you do every single day, it's get out of the bed. After you've gotten out of the bed, make sure that you shower. I would always joke to myself later and say, how can you be the soap lady and you didn't shower in 2 days, right? Um, and so doing those little things and creating a routine and praying every day. If you have a chance, journal about it. What are you feeling? There's nothing wrong with those feelings. But depression is you have pushed it down and now it's just trying to come up because it's gotten to the point where there's nowhere else to push it. So it's expressing itself that way. We have to get out of bed and our head. Very good point. Very, very good point. Hey, Tammy. All right. Happy October all from my sister. I'm imagining. Got a phone call from my sister who mentioned that she is struggling with depression. We will keep you in our prayers, and I hope to see you smiling and vibrant soon, or just feeling good about yourself again. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day, and I will pin. Oh, Paige wants to say bye.
Have a great day, and I hope you like the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give us a huge thumbs up. Bye.
Bye, everybody, and I will pan for you all to see the soap studio.
Oh, you guys always have a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. And there she is, guys. We are very excited, and I'll see you all soon.
Bye.